With these Sleep Outfitters brand promises, you can rest assured you made the right purchase.
Find the mattress set you purchased from us at an advertised lower price, and I'll refund you 120% of the difference. That's our price promise.
Not comfortable on your new mattress set within 120 nights? We'll exchange it for one that's just right for you. See our website for complete details. Plus, ask about low-rate financing options and free delivery at Sleep Outfitters.
The best price on the best brands, guaranteed.
Hello and welcome back to the Tennessean's Bernard Pollard Show. So we are live here at Sleep Outfitters, yes, and we are going to go into our third segment here, and it's just going to be a variety pack, a lot of different questions. Don has stayed up there with us. We still have Blidi Wreh-Wilson up there. We've got Jim Wyatt. We have our columnist David Climer. We're ready for whatever you guys can throw at us. So go ahead, guys, take it away.
I'm wondering if we should, some of our advertising people are here, should we sell the Don MacLachlan Show?
There wouldn't be anyone here.
Thanks for sticking around, Donnie. Blidi, I've known a lot of people. I'm an old guy. I've met a lot of people in my time. You're the first guy named Blidi I've ever met. Where does the name come from? I'm sure you've been asked that before, but where does the name come from?
My parents are Liberian immigrants, and my dad actually named me after his great uncle, and Blidi means trouble. But he kind of used it in a different meaning. There was a civil war in Liberia, and he said by me being born, it was going to be the bringer of peace to the war, and the war would end. So that was the meaning of it.
Good for you. And you, Bernard, I think we talked about this early on in one of the shows. He sort of grew up in football. You didn't. You didn't take up football really until, your senior year in high school, and what brought you into it?
I had played in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, just kind of with Little Gritters and Pee Wee, and then for the middle school team. But I had always played soccer, so they're in the same season. So in high school, I decided to actually play soccer. I was an undersized guy. I was like 5'4", 110 pounds going into high school. My dad really didn't want me to play football. Going into my senior year, I just said I wanted to just play football, just to have fun, because I just remember I wanted to be with the guys, and it ended up being one of the best decisions of my life.
Now, did you hit a little growth spurt or something to get big enough where you were comfortable on a football field?
Yeah.
And when did that kick in?
It was my junior year. My junior year, I got to be about 6 feet tall, and I was only 140 pounds. But by my senior year, I was about 6 foot, probably 6'1", 155, 160, and then that was when I started playing weight.
So with limited exposure, and we all know about recruiting these days, you probably weren't on a whole lot of lists going in. You wound up at UConn. Mm-hmm. Tell us about the recruiting experience there, and what was it like at UConn? A lot of people think about UConn, both men's and women's basketball, great programs. Football programs good. What took you there, and what was college like for you?
My recruiting was really, really small. I had the University of Buffalo. They offered me after my third game, and UConn actually was recruiting our tight end, Sean Walker, who had committed to West Virginia, and they saw me, and they actually said, we want you to come up and visit. And as soon as we got there, my dad, he went to school at Boston College. He liked New England, so he wanted me to go there, and from there we just kind of decided it was probably best for academics and football.
You talked about this in the first segment with Jim and John, the concussion and all the protocol and all that you have to come through. At the moment, though, I think a lot of people who haven't played football or haven't had that experience wonder what it's like. Did you know immediately what was wrong? How did it kick in? And what's the procedure there as soon as you realize something's not right? What was it like?
Yeah, my vision just kind of was messed up and I just couldn't really see. And I had said that, and one of the guys just said, get down. And then from there, you just kind of like go out, and then you come back. And I remember coming back, and I was in the locker room. So from there, that's kind of when you know something's not right, and then you do the testing, and they diagnose it, and you go from there.
So do you look back at the play it happened on, and what happened?
It was just, I tried to cut a lineman, and he basically caught me and kind of fell on my head. And you get 300 pounds falling, even if you have a helmet on, it's something's gonna happen. So that's kind of what went down.
Sort of like getting hugged by Don MacLachlan. Don, thanks for sticking around. I know it's been an interesting year for you guys, but guys like Blidi Wreh-Wilson, I think one thing we're seeing, and both Jim and John have touched on this in the Tennessean, you're seeing a lot of younger players stepping up, first, second, third year guys. I would think as a front office person, that's encouraging because maybe things are turning.
Yes, I think the future is very bright for the Titans. And you look at it, and yeah, we've had some growing pains. We had a few games that you wish a break had gone here or there, and it may have been different. And our good friend Bernard, we always talk, if he had that interception against the Cowboys and Witten didn't knock it out, that may have put us ahead 17-16. There's a lot of what ifs and what have you. But the Blidi Wrehs, the Chance Warmacks, Taylor Lewan is stepping in now, Schwenke. You look all the way across our lineup, and we've got some young, very talented players that are beginning to play well together, and they believe in Coach Wisenhunt, as we all do, and the future's bright for the Titans, and we just need a few breaks along the way here, and hopefully we can get one in Washington and stay on a roll this weekend.
That was brought to you by the Titans front office. I think that message. Blidi, as a relatively young player, you've gone through growing pains. I mean, you struggled at times earlier in the season. I hear defensive backs, especially corners, talk about short attention span, short memory, sort of let it go and go to the next play. How are you able to do that?
I mean, this whole preseason, there was a competition between Cody and I, and between that, you have to learn to just grow and move on from things that may happen. You're going to face adversity playing corner. Guys are going to catch the football, and you have to understand that when you're on the field, you have to kind of just control yourself and be able to stay calm and just know you have your techniques that you can just always hang your hat on.
So what's it like in the locker room when you see someone like Jim Wyatt approaching with a notepad and a tape recorder, and he's going to ask the tough questions? Do you like the attention? Would you prefer not to be interviewed a lot? How do you handle the media?
I mean, I just kind of take it as it's something that you have to go through. And if you don't accept that.
Wyatt gets that a lot, by the way.
If you try to run from it, you're never going to face it. So you might as well face it and just fix it right there and just move on from it and just use it as a little extra motivation going forward.
Jim, good guy to talk to in the locker room?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Blidi is that, in games where he didn't feel like he played as well as he should have, he steps up and answers the tough questions. On a day when he had, like this past Sunday where he had one of the better games, everybody on the team, he's also there. So, that's one thing about this Titans team I've found is you've got a lot of guys who are accountable, and that's what you want to see from leaders, guys who are going to be there, good and bad, and I think that's how you get through some of the rough patches.
Blidi, one more question, and I guess we'll bring it back to the guy whose name is on the show. Have you talked to Bernard? When do you expect to see him back in the locker room? I know the coaches have said because he is such a leader, they want him around the team. He's kind of immobilized now, but what'll it be like to if he can't even come into the locker room, share some things, maybe some advice and things like that? What is that a real help for you guys?
Yeah, it's definitely a help because you get a guy like that who has a lot of knowledge and he's won a Super Bowl, so he understands how to get where every team wants to go. So for him, Coach Trophy's done a lot of the updates for us. He lets us know BP's feeling good and his spirits are higher. And he said that he's going to be coming back sometime soon. So that's going to be good for the meeting room because you can't replace a guy like that with he's just he's there and he's always present. So and he just makes sure and he always pours his heart into this team. So he has a lot of respect in the locker room and guys just are drawn to him.
Have you seen his video that he posted on Instagram of him going down the staircase at home? I don't know if no one has seen it. He posted a video on Instagram when he's got this huge cast on his foot. I guess he's got a man cave downstairs and he has to sit on his rear end and go down each step one at a time to get down there. And I'm assuming he has to do on the way back. So he's getting a good workout on the way up and down the stairs. Yeah.
Very good. We've got a couple questions here from the audience live at Sleep
Outfitters. We got to grill MacLachlan while he's up here. He'll have to answer too.
No, that's true. So I'm going to ask you your name and then go ahead and ask your question, okay?
Andy, do y'all think y'all get in the postseason?
Do you think you'll get in the postseason?
Yeah, we prepare with the end in mind, and the postseason, winning our division is definitely something that we want to do. And we believe that we have the team to do it. And as we said, we have young talent. We have guys right now, and we're just basically just ascending right now. We understand where we want to go, and that's how we prepare.
Does the front office have a stand on that, Don?
On the playoffs?
Yes.
Playoffs? We'd love to make the playoffs. We love our guys, and it's a week at a time, and we'll see what we can do. But it's something that from the front office perspective, I think everything is coming together, and certainly a trip to the playoffs will be something that we want to reward our fans with that have been so loyal to us for such a long time.
Very good. Don, Andy also asked me off camera if you played football in your days.
Not like Blidi Wreh or Bernard played football. I could, if you were in front of me, I could hit you. If you got behind me, it was bye-bye.
What position did you play?
Same one Blidi Wreh does.
You did?
Not as well.
Ah, excellent. I love it. All right, very good. We've got another question here. Thank you, Andy. Your name is?
Waylon.
Hey, Waylon, go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, I was just wondering, Bleedy, about I think the first couple games of the season there were some pass interference calls against you, and I know they're really taken away from the corners and how physical you can be with the receivers. Are you practicing more? Because I didn't see any this last game. Are you practicing more at being less physical and reading the play more, reading the route, or what are you doing different now that I didn't see as much last week as probably the first couple games?
This guy should be a reporter,
There you
Jim.
go. Yeah.
It's more playing the ball down the field. A lot of the times when you get your back to the ball and you know the ball is coming, you just have to turn and try to play the ball. And there was a bunch of situations where I was actually trying to play through the receiver rather than play the ball. And this past week I played the ball better, and that's why there was less flags.
You noticed a difference in illegal contact penalties or how officials are calling it now compared to maybe the first couple of weeks of the season?
I mean, some of them really don't make sense, but it's just kind of, it's the game and those are the rules. So when you watch it, you just kind of have to just say, okay, there's a flag, and just move on to the next play.
Very good. All right, we've got one more question from the audience. Go ahead and tell me who you are and ask your question.
Hi, I'm Tony. My question's for Bleedy also. Looking ahead at the Washington game, I wonder if you could talk a little bit about the difference between playing against someone like Cousins or RG3, and is there any part of you that would rather challenge RG3?
I mean, the challenge ahead is Cousins, and that's what we have to prepare for. RG3, he's more athletic, so he'd probably be more of a boot guy, and you know, with Kirk Cousins is more drop back, and you can tell just by the statistics that he's throwing the ball a lot more, throwing it around more, and rather than getting with an RG3, they'd probably add him into the run game.